about 3-point defense, but I want to ask about the defense in a different way. Sandy was kind of just talking about how they're a tough scout because they don't have necessarily traditional bigs. Their bigs can kind of, between JJ and Stewie, kind of really kind of step out and do a lot of things that other bigs don't do. So I'm curious, from your perspective, what's the challenge of having to kind of go against those versatile bigs that aren't necessarily, plotting in the same areas that other teams are in?
Yeah, she's spot on. I mean, a lot of schemes that you have, especially in ball screen action and DHOs of that nature, you can scheme in a way where you're really respecting the ball a bit more and you're living with kind of the throwback or not necessarily dump down, but maybe even a short roll to bigs. But you do that, and then you have JJ and Stewie right in their wheelhouse. So that's the conundrum that we face and everybody else in the league faces is trying to pick your poison. And as much as anything, it's like really, really good players, trying to disrupt their rhythm, trying to give them different things to read so that they're not just out there like balling and playing free. And that's the challenge that we'll try to pose this evening. Really, really focus on trying to do that because, yeah, they're really. I mean, we're dealing with Hall of Fame players, and stopping them with one approach is really not going to be effective. Yep.
Hey Sydney, how was it just for you to be able to tell Kiki she won Rookie of the Month in front of her teammates and see the reaction from her, the kind of visible surprise?
Yeah, yeah, super proud of her. Super proud of her approach. Obviously, the outside accolades, that type of honor is a big deal. I don't want to take away from that at all. But even if the league hadn't acknowledged, we certainly acknowledge the contribution that she's given to this organization, to her teammates. And so I'm circling back to your question is like to be able to share that moment because we've shared in her progress, we've shared in her giving to others, we've shared obviously in her really good play. It was really cool. And then the words that she shared, and I'll lean on you to ask her, but I thought she shared some really heartfelt words with us about what it meant to her and what the game has become to her here as a Mystic. And I think that that's everything that we want in terms of our players. And it doesn't always just come in awards. It comes in the small victories here or there. And just loving seeing that from all of our players and Kiki in this instance.
And then on a different topic, a couple weeks ago, I asked you whether you liked your team's pace, and you told me it was too early to tell. So I'm back. Do you feel like you're playing fast enough for your liking now, or would you like to go faster?
No, I want to go faster and I want to be more efficient. We're not taking care of the basketball enough in transition. So that's hurt us. Still want to get that going. Had a lot of games in a short amount of time. Can't look past New York and Connecticut, but I think we will benefit significantly after these two games to get some practice and really work on our ball control, our spacing, just being a bit more intentional about how fast we're trying to play and what the various shots are. And that's now finally what are we 2-3 games into having a full roster. So there's a lot of stuff going on. We will get better. I'm excited about that. We already have gotten better, but that's one area that's going to be for sure a focus. Hopefully we take a step forward tonight and against Connecticut, but that's a big ticket item for when we get a little bit more practice time.
Just one more for you. You've had several comebacks in games, whatever the eventual result may be. Wins, losses. You guys have come back from some deficits. As you look back either at the film or at the analytics at those stretches where you've gone on those runs and made those comebacks, have you identified any commonalities there that you kind of want to bottle up and apply maybe before you're trailing?
I don't want to answer that because because I do think it speaks to a bit of the strategy going on with us, and I don't. I want to leave that to my colleagues to try to figure out for themselves. We do feel like we know a few things about us in those stretches, and which has helped us. and so I'm going to hold on to that.
Hi, I'm Madeline Kenny with the New York Post. It's nice to meet you.
Same.
So, Kareem kind of asked a little bit about the problems defensively that this, specifically the starting five, present, but also offensively. They have a lot of length and versatility, and they can several players can guard multiple positions. How difficult is it to score on this starting five, and have you seen a starting five that's as potent as this one is?
I'll just keep it in a now and, say that, they're number one in defense in the league right now. And so, they bring a whole lot of offense on one end and then they come down and they don't take plays off. Tosh has been a great addition to them. JJ and Stewie with the length, as you mentioned, and nothing really comes easy. I will also say, and I don't mean to be cute about this in any way, but when they're defending often after a made basket. And so that right there, you can look at the numbers analytically. You can just look at the eye test. That allows you to set up your defense. And so, they're able to put their best foot forward a lot defensively because they're pretty much set. So I think their offense is certainly helping their defense. And then because they don't take plays off and they're organized and well coached, and they have great talent, it presents a challenge, and that's I'm not telling you anything that the rest of the league doesn't know.
And then rebounding wise, I mean, the Liberty aren't a bad rebounding team, but it seems like defensive rebounding wise, they're trying to get out and transition, so sometimes they have a few players leak out, so it's easier to get second chance opportunities, or they're giving up a lot of offensive boards, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
How much do you put like an emphasis on that to your team? Like, even if you don't get the first basket, like, get in there, crash the glass, try to get other opportunities to stay in it.
Yeah, I would say for us that we're trying to win the possession battle. That has been a challenge for us, but that is our approach, is to try to win the possession battle, and so that comes with keeping our turnovers low, but also battling for second chances. I'll reference again, the full health of our team allows us to have an Aaliyah coming in there, a Kia coming in there, to battle for those second chances. You have to have the personnel. And so we feel like we have a little bit more of that personnel in order to earn some second chances. So we want to do that. And then probably for us as well is honestly like limiting our turnovers. So if you can match the possession battle with New York, you're probably in the game. And that's one of many challenges we have tonight. Thank you all. Yep.